The Manuscript of Survival, Part 403. March 13, 2014. We have come to you today on a most important mission, for we are here to prepare you for what you have in store in the next few days. As many of you are already aware, the period we are referring to is the one that leads up to that point in time that you have specified as the midpoint of the year if you see it as divided into two equal parts, both of them encompassing the same amount of light, although divided into two. This is, as you know, a roundabout way to describe the day of your recurring equinoxes, the days that your planet seems to stand at a midpoint, a point of balance if you will, for then to start to shift ever so slightly on its axis yet again. We know that for many of you, this time of the year has always been considered an important one, and rightly so, but this time, we cannot stress enough just what an important period this will be. Or rather, what an important period it already is. For this is not just a one-off, a one-day event that comes and goes as quickly as that. No, this is something far more important, and the lead up to it is already well on the way. We know that many of you can attest to this, for you have already been subjected to those first intense preliminary door openers that have swept all over your globe, and even if the outcome of all of this door opening so far have been less than enjoyable for many of you, the end result will as always far outshine the side effects from it. So again we say, know that all is well, and even if you will feel these energetic blasts to be more than what your physical body can bear, it is not. For you are indeed made of strong stuff, dear ones, and even if your mind may start to falter alongside your struggling body, neither of you will have to fear the possibility of succumbing to any of those ailments you might fear at the moment. Again, we know that this will be less than consolation to those of you deep in the throes of these mighty blasts, but still, we will as always continue to remind you that you have all been carefully prepared for just such an occasion, and indeed, you are also carefully monitored throughout it all. But let us return to the original subject, that of the upcoming event that will once again blast away so much of the remaining resistance that still abounds on all sides. For this will not be a normal event, such as the ones you are already well accustomed to. No, this will be of a much larger magnitude, and it will be one that has no precedent anywhere in creation. Again we hear your questions, asking for details and more information to be given ahead. But again we have to give you the same answer that these are not questions that can be answered beforehand, but let us just repeat what we have told you on many an occasion before. What we are referring to is an event of grand proportions, but it is not an external event, it is in every sense of the word an internal one, and this time, it goes both for you and for your loving planet, your home away from home, your mother Earth. For as the days dawn in the weeks ahead, you will all find yourself within a very new space, and even if the outside circumference of it will look very much the same, everything within it will be very new. For even if you have all been through a long and grueling process of resetting your own personal setup in a way that leaves it free of old encumbrances and inserted detrimental circuitry of any kind, you still have a ways to go before you can function at your full capacity. But after this part of the process is over, any hindrances will be reduced to a minimum, and your own capabilities will start to evolve at an ever-increasing speed. We know that these are words you have heard before, and to many, ad nauseum, but again we remind you to take a look over your shoulder to see where you are now compared to where you have been. And even if that will be more than a challenge for many of you in the present circumstances, we also know that deep down, you will know that the answer is indeed a positive one. For although you still may feel more than a little bit challenged in every aspect of your life, you will also know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are being propelled forwards at an incredible speed right now, and you are not alone in this giant race for the future either. For with every step you take, more and more souls will be following in your wake, and as you make headway, you break down the barriers that have also held the rest of mankind trapped. For you are the wayshowers, the pioneers, the ones that have taken upon them this grand task of breaking through every single barrier that have ever existed standing in the way between you and your former greatness. For as you all know so well by now, What you are discovering will seem to be unknown territory to you in so many ways, but what you are really doing is rediscovering all of your former glory. For you are already everything that you have striven so hard to reach for, and now, as the days tick by and the tempo increases considerably, you will be helped to close that seemingly endless gap between then and now, and it will be done in a giant leap that will serve to bring you all up to par, as it were. And just what do we mean by that? Simply that now, the energetic environment you have been contending with will change in a way that will be enormously beneficial to you all, as well as to your planet. For now, the whole field around your planetary body will make such an adjustment to the currents that run through it, it will be like switching from one kind of energy to a very, very different one. Again, we will refrain from giving you any details beforehand, but we would like to point out some things that may occur for you all in the time ahead as these shifts comes into action. First of all, your physical body will once again start to exhibit signs of confusion in ways that it may not have done before. In other words, even if you are all well versed in all of the different ways that your body can react to these huge energetic fluctuations, it would not surprise us at all if many of you start to report new and diverse symptoms. And yes, we use the word this way in order to remind you that you are not falling prey to any kind of disease here. For this is simply a sign of your body being out of ease in a way that it has not been before. And before any of you start to go into fear about this, it is not given that your body will start to react in a manner that is distressing to you. It can also start to react by going into action mode as it's eager to do all sorts of things at an increased rate. So this can indeed manifest in all sorts of ways. We just want you to be aware that any signals that will start to be given now are merely signs of you already being in full swing, welcoming in these heavenly helpers in the form of energetic messages that help you to retune and tweak each and every connection in your body to prepare for the full blast of these equinox energies. For make no mistake, what you have ahead is more than a little ripple across the surface. This is something that will go to the very core, not only of you, but also your planet, and as such, the effects from it will be profound. So take some time every day to simply be with yourself, and step back from it all if need be. For this is indeed a very important period for you all, and we want to advise you all to listen carefully to the inner guidance you will be given at all times. If you feel like being out and about, do so, and if you feel like the opposite, try to honor that as well. Follow whatever road that is being presented to you, as it comes into your consciousness in order to lead you to a space that is right for you at this time, whether that be out in nature, with friends or relatives, or somewhere completely different. Just remember that if you feel lost and alone, always ask for help, and it will be given to you. For this is not something that should be done in complete isolation from others, so seek company in a way that feels right for you, and reach out through means of your electronic devices, your consciousness, or simply by allowing others to come into your space from time to time. Again, this is an individual journey, but some stages of it requires you to be just with you, while others will be better experienced as a group. So let us sign off by saying that we know that many of you are feeling as if you cannot take any more of these energetic upheavals anymore, and we have no problem in understanding that. And yes, we would gladly trade places with you if we could, but that is not an option, as the roles were handed out even before you came to be here in your very first incarnation within a human body. So this is something you have been primed for from the very beginning, and as such, no one can do your job in your stead. We wish we could help you in any way to further lessen the impact it all has on your emotional and physical bodies, but we are doing all we can to make this part of your journey as less challenging as possible. We know this is of little consolation, but you have been taken through this rigorous process step by step, at increments that have ensured your safety all along, and even if you feel ready to throw in the towel right now, we also know that the moment you feel the new stirring in your core, you will once again step up and say, "I am ready and able and willing to take it all the way." For that is why I am here, that is why I was born into this very body, and together, we will accomplish what no man has ever done, and what we will do, no one in creation has done before. I am here to shine my glorious light once again, and when I do that, it will shine across not only this planet but beyond, and for every step I take, the light will become brighter in every single being around me, both on this planet and off. For I am here to do great deeds by being inside a small and seemingly frail body, but this body is the key to the whole magnificent process, and this key is also one that will help to unlock the doors into every hidden chamber that exists. For this body will start to act as a magnifier of these heavenly signals so that no heart anywhere in this world will be able to remain silenced ever again. For as I open myself up to these rays of light, I am also opening up all of humanity to the knowledge that beyond the fear and desolation lies freedom, love, and happiness for all. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com